Sound check. Oh, hey. Whoop, wrong buttons. Sorry. What's going on, everybody? My name's Kobe Scroby, and welcome to HP Lovecraft, Lore, and Mythos, presented by Drunkle Qrow. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with us today. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoy the stream, don't forget to hit the like button for me. Leave me your thoughts on it in the comments. You can also subscribe to the channel for more streams and other videos. Go down to the description. You will have Drunkle Qrow's YouTube and Twitch. He is live on Twitch right now. Also, Umbrelladoc will be joining us. The link to his YouTube is in the description. And I do have a private Satisfactory server. If you'd like to join, all you have to do is go to the link in the description for my Patreon or hit the YouTube join button. $5 a month gets you unlimited access to the private server. You can play as long as you want, and also to our private Discord chat that we use while we're playing on the server. If you don't want to do that, you can join the regular Discord for free. But if you do, make sure you send me a message on Discord and let me know so we can get you hooked up with the server information and get you on there as soon as possible. Now, he was just getting set up, and I said, I'll get the stream started. So I'm going to get into Discord and see how it's going. Can you guys hear the music? There, I bumped it up a little bit. Okay, let me see what they're doing here. I am here, and I got your...
Not fully started. It's marked on in the Streamlabs itself. It's on my my starting soon. So.
Okay. I will not show the screen yet. All right, I'm going to actually mute here so I can talk to them. All right, guys, it looks like he's not quite ready yet. I always get afraid that people are going to be waiting for me, so I try to hurry up and get ready, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, all right, I'm here. And they're like, hey, man, we're not ready yet. Chill out. Oh, man, I'm excited for this. I've been I love HP Lovecraft stuff, and I can't wait. I like it. I'm excited. Let me see what he's saying here, just so I can see if we're ready.
Alright, guys, what's going on?
Well, we're just getting it ready to get started, so.
Alrighty.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely a first for me to do this, but...
Hey, it's all good. I just didn't want anybody waiting on me, so I wanted to get ready as soon as I could.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and click the live screen and start this.
All right.
Hello everyone, welcome here. We are going to be starting quickly here. I am Drunkle Qrow, and we're going to be discussing a few different things with the lovely world of H.P. Lovecraft, the insanity that he causes, as well as just the in general power that, well, is the cosmic horror mythos that he has helped generate. Joining me right now, currently, is Umbrelladoc and Kobe Scroby. Thank you both for joining me here to learn some stuff about the wonderful world of, well, H.P. Lovecraft.
Well, thanks for doing this. I'm excited. I want to learn about it.
Too. This is going to be really fun.
Well, it's going to be a little bit creepy and fun, and I kind of hope I expand you guys' knowledge a little bit here. I'm using the actual Monster Wiki, which is maintained by quite a few people of the H.P. Lovecraft Society. We're gonna discuss a few things. Also, Kobe, go ahead and yank Foxboy, give him the permission to jump into this.
Okay.
Here, because he just popped on in, and Foxboy's also going to be joining us on this.
All right, I'm doing it right now. There we go.
The very first creature we're going to be discussing is the one and only originator that Lovecraft created, that being Azathoth. Azathoth is known as a couple of different names with the mythos. We have him known, as you can read there, the blind idiot god, which is the insulting way to talk about him, or it, I should say, the Daemon Sultan, and the nuclear chaos. The reason he has earned the nickname of the blind idiot god is the joke with Azathoth. He literally created us all by accident. He is at the center of the universe and literally created this universe unintentionally. Pretty much rolled over, burped, and created us.
God, that sounds like how I was born.
Yes. Azathoth is also considered to be probably, I would recommend, close to the top of all, if not the most powerful entity, being the one who created it. Given his level, though, he is constantly, effectively sleeping in the middle of the universe. He cannot escape it, cannot do anything for it, absolutely massive. Can't do anything, just sits there generating more and more of the universe. It is stated that once he wakes up or is able to get into this universe, depending on which version of the mythos you speak about with it, he's either A, going to wake up and we're all going to disappear again, or B, when he wakes up, is the beginning of what scientists would call the Big Crunch, the reverse of the Big Bang, where the universe implodes in on itself, going back into Azathoth.
Oh. So I just played The Shore. I don't know if you played that at all. And so
I've heard of it.
At the end, you get an Azathoth encounter. And it's pretty spectacular to see. It was visually amazing.
I'm not surprised. A lot of people describe Azathoth as, well, we'll show by this picture here. I'm about to open it here. You can see he is literally just a giant mass of tentacles. Eyeballs, teeth. It's not something pleasant. He is very unpleasant. The scale here, comparatively, this planetoid type item here is one of the main worlds that the Shoggoth inhabit, which are considered insane entities. I will be going over them a bit. But this planet here is about, I think if I remember correctly, 300 times the size of Jupiter.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
He is not a small boy, him a big boy. Azathoth is a very big boy. Now, the whole thing with him, we've heard the name mentioned before. I'm pretty sure anyone watching will also know of it, possibly. That being the character Raven in Teen Titans. I'm pretty sure
I know
you guys
exactly what you're talking about there.
Yeah, the chant, Azeroth, Menthios, that's who she's referring to.
Azeroth, Mesothos, Zenthos, I think.
Yeah, that is one of the ones she is referring to. The whole aspect of Azathoth is that he is the creator of alchemy, creator of a lot of it, also recognized in the Bible as Azazel, the angel of knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like it says here, the fact that Azathoth is just his given name. He doesn't actually have a name. That is what just calls him. And as Lovecraft described it, a fundamental evil too terrible to even be described.
So basically it's a big major no name, but a big dangerous no name.
Yeah. It's indicating that in the Necronomicon it refers to him as Azathoth because his real name is so horrible nobody dares to try to pronounce it.
Yeah. That's actually one of the names that I can pronounce. There's a lot of them that I've come across that I can't read. At least.
Yes. A lot of them are going to be like that. You got to give credit to the world of Lovecraft. Is a lot of the names are very difficult to pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I couldn't hear you there.
Oh, my bad. Shoghoth. That's the only other one I can pronounce besides Azathoth.
Right. Now, here's the thing. This is the biggest thing for Azathoth. He has never actually appeared in any of the works of Lovecraft.
Oh.
He is only ever mentioned in the Necronomicon and the people who have occasionally glimpsed him by Nyarlathotep, his, child. He is the one that goes around keeping the legend of Azathoth going, keeping it so he's there. But he is so stupid and frankly, dumb. He has no thoughts, can't feel anything. But the big thing is, a lot of it is anytime you hear a flute sound, a melody that puts you slightly into a sleep state, that's him. So if you're sitting there and you just randomly feel tired, that's supposedly Azathoth feeding on you. Yeah, a lot. I'm not surprised. It's a statement that, Lovecraft loved to do, is using Azathoth as just the means of an end. Frankly, he is the beginning and the end.
And then, of course, there's one of the, more known ones that only I know of anyway, and that would be Cthulhu.
Right. And now here's a name that, I'm not going to be able to pronounce properly. This is another entity that fights with Azathoth. And that's, I'm going to horribly pronounce this, but it's Shoghoth. It is the intelligence that was once part of Azathoth. And it is believed in the Lovecraft lore that this is the intelligence that went on to form the entity known as Yog-Sothoth. The reason I started with Azathoth for this discussion, is one of the very first things he ever wrote, Lovecraft ever wrote, was the poem of Azathoth, where it just describes him and it's someone praying to him. No other big thing, no calamities. It was his beginning before he stepped more into what he became known for with the cosmic horror, body horror, and that like. Any questions about Azathoth, like what he does, what his main goal is, or anything like that for you guys? Right. He is similar to Cthulhu, except that with Azathoth, he is so dumb that he can't bring himself to wake up. He doesn't know how.
Well,
So
I
it's
remember.
not so much that he doesn't know how to wake up, he just can't remember. He's that dense. Hence the blind idiot god. He can't see anything, he can't do anything, he's just there.
But the thing is, I remember you and I were talking about beforehand. I remember you said Azathoth was one of those entities that, God forbid, should he ever wake up, then that's pretty much end of the world bullshit. All of that.
Oh yeah, it's end of universe. He would eat everything. There is no stopping him. He can't feel pain. He can't be killed. The only thing that can happen is him going back to sleep. and the only one who can put him back to sleep is Nyarlathotep. We will get into it a little bit later, but I will explain it as in the effect of he keeps him asleep by literally continuing to spread the legend of the king of all of the demons, the Sultan demon, the blind idiot god. By keeping the legend alive, people are remembering him and not actively waking him up. That's how they do it with that. Why he does it, I have no idea. Yeah.
What was the entity's name? The only one who could put him to sleep?
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
With his
Okay,
monstrous,
so
yeah, with his monstrous musical players. That's how they would describe it.
so basically, kind of a what's the word? When like how do I word this? Like a demonic lullaby or whatever, some bullshit like
Right.
that.
In a way, yes. That's what keeps him complacent. As long as that's going, he will sleep and not wake up and go, ooh, humanity, nom 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 nom.
And if anyone tries to go, like if he wakes up and someone tries to fight him, he's just gonna go, oh, cool, and just.
They will, yeah, he will just make them cease to exist.
In other words, like, for anyone who watches that's into Marvel, Thanos don't have crap on Azathoth. Thanos
yeah.
snaps, destroys half the population. Azathoth wakes up, destroys the
Cracks
universe.
off a morning. Yeah, he wakes up, cracks off a morning fart, world goes bye-bye.
That's about it.
Yeah.
He just has to fart on us and we're all dead.
Yep.
Dude,
Pretty
I
much.
don't even think he has to fart on us. All he has to do is yawn, and we're done.
But with that, we're going to move on to the next two entities that are coincide together. And that is an entity you have recently learned about, Kobe, by listening to the storyline, the two of them. That being the Elder Ones, aka the Elder Things, and the Shoggoth.
Okay. Are those the ones
The
that they... Oh, yeah. No, go ahead. Never mind. I'll listen.
Yeah, the Elder Ones are the ones that they found at the Mountains of Madness.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to get ahead of you.
Right, they're the ones with the starfish head. They were the first beings that lived on the Earth. And they created the Shoggoths.
Okay.
The Elder Things are not enemies, effectively, of the world. They really don't care. We're below them. We're basically cattle to them. They would harvest our brains if they needed to. That's what their whole basic is. They are one of the most intelligent and, well, technologically and artistically advanced races in the world. They were the first ones that landed on Earth and believed to be in his work created humanity through experimentation. They are pretty much just a race of scientists. Anything of science of art, science of math, you name it. They were able to create worlds or create entire towns underwater, in the Arctic, all of it.
So that basically translates to humanity is nothing more than lab rats to them.
We were lab rats to them, yes.
My little test subjects.
Yes, the descriptions for a lot of it, there is a lot. They are barrel-shaped, ugly, disgusting wing membranes. They've been described as, well, looking like giant melons, rotting melons. They, well, effectively, also, like I said, created the Shoggoths, which are entities that are, well, amorphous. Think giant amoebas. That's what a Shoggoth is. Except they exist for one thing. They're going to see you, they're going to eat you, and absorb your DNA and all that to make you into them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the Shoggoths are not pleasant. If out of all creatures in the world of H.P. Lovecraft, I wouldn't mind meeting the Elder Ones. Because at least with these guys, you may have a chance to survive.
Or unlike the ones I think Drunkle, you mentioned before, like I'm pretty sure it'll be later on the discussion, but the deeper ones or deep ones or whatever they're called.
Ones, yes.
Oh, you know what? I just searched Shoggoth and I pulled up a picture. Has anyone seen the show Lovecraft Country on HBO?
Yep, that's exactly what they dealt with in one of it was a Shoggoth.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
That's not. I've never heard of that, but I need to catch that at some point. But I know I only recently watched the YouTube biography on YouTube of H.P. Lovecraft, like talking about his life and everything. And Drunkle directed me to his all of H.P. Lovecraft's writings or books or whatnot all in one package, I think. And I just started listening to that.
Yeah, the whole aspect with it is, like I said, though, these things aren't very big, though. They're only about 6 feet tall. They're not huge. So they're not that ugly. Well, they're ugly, but they're not that dangerous unless they want to research on you. We usually are ignored by them.
Anal probe commencing.
At times, yes.
This is not tentacle porn, Umbrella.
Well, they did have tentacles, which they mostly used to get around with.
We have watched enough hentai to know where tentacles go. And it is not a safe spot.
And they're stated to be considered one of the most technologically advanced, like I said, because they actually traveled the stars, taking the Shoggoths with them and seeding other planets.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. Unfortunately, Earth was their last area. They unfortunately died out here on Earth whenever the Shoggoths rebelled against them and began to eat them. Now, the interesting thing, a lot of people have heard statements that animals know when something is dangerous, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've all heard that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't catch part of that. What was that?
You all heard that animals get angry or agitated when they're near something dangerous.
Oh yeah,
Or
because it's
something
like they
right.
say animals can sense danger for the most part.
Right.
What the saying is.
Right. Any animal, primarily dogs, and this was documented in his writings of the Mountains of Madness, at the Mountains of Madness. I'm sure, Kobe, you remember some of the scenes. Their sled dogs became extremely violent to the point that they would attack these dead bodies of these creatures as well as themselves and their human masters. They would go completely berserk.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. I'm sure you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of the stench of these creatures. The description is literally, it's classified as indescribable, but the smell is what would send the animals going crazy.
Yeah. I remember that, talking about that too.
Right. The Mountains of Madness was one of my favorite stories of Lovecraft because it was embarking into the beginning of the insanity and madness that he was going to bring to the world. They, like I said, they are known to have synthesized tons of life forms. Many, many different types. In fact, in the Lovecraft stories, there have multiple different cities. The one in Antarctica at the Mountains of Madness. People believe, followers of Lovecraft's, likings and that, writings, believe that Atlantis was another one they created. And humanity just took it over before it finally sank into the sea.
I was going to say, we all know how Atlantis ended.
Right. A lot of the things that they explain, these giant cities, these missing giant cities, were theirs.
Yeah, I was just gonna, mention that. Well, I've heard so many stories of these lost cities, or like, cities that want to remain hidden because tons of shit has gone down beforehand. I mean, I'm just like
Right.
Atlantis is among them, and I'm wondering because I've also heard of El Dorado, that's the city of gold.
Yes.
I'm not sure
Yes,
if that's among them.
Yes, that is actually it was considered part of the Elder One's cities.
Now, would Pompeii be considered that too?
No, Pompeii was a human city, built far later in the lifetime of the Earth.
Okay.
The cities that were built by the Elder Ones were built prior to the main separations of the Ice Age and all of that.
Gotcha.
Jesus, because the more I think about, because the more you keep mentioning this stuff, it's making me think. It's like, oh my God, like all these lost cities and stuff that they were saying, they're not meant to be discovered, or there's secrets that are meant to be kept a secret and everything. It just makes me now question, especially with the Lovecraft stories. It just makes me question, there's got to be more to it than what a lot of these scientists are theorizing about. I could be talking on my ass for all I know.
Well, that's actually where he got a lot of his thoughts. Lovecraft originally wanted to be a scientist, so he included a ton of science and research in his stories that make you question everything, and that's what he always wanted everybody to do, is question every single thing you saw or heard or believed. He wanted you to look into that
That's
and
Open
question
things.
that.
that's interesting because as I was listening to the Mountains of Madness, it kind of reads like a report. Because
Right.
that's kind of what it is. He's
Absolutely.
making a report of what they found. And as I'm listening to it while I'm working, I'm hearing this stuff, and I'm starting to, just subconsciously kind of think like, oh man, I can't believe they found that, and I'm like, wait, this is a book,
Right. He had that ability that when you listen to the audiobook of At the Mountains of Madness, you actually picture it as like you said, Kobe, a actual scientific report, like you're listening to a newscast of what the hell did they find.
Yeah, or even like a documentary kind of.
Right, and the reason being that it worked is back in the time frame that he wrote At the Mountains of Madness, we had not explored Antarctica. So his thought was, what could be there? And this is what came from it, is At the Mountains of Madness. Because no one had gone further than the edge of Antarctica at that point in time. It's similar to what happens for Everest. When we first climbed Everest, no one knew what was going to be on the top of Everest. No one had an idea, but he did. He had this glorious things that he wrote about with the Mountains of Madness and Everest, based on his other works with the Chinese mountains that were really messed up that he came up with, the Yangtze, I believe it's pronounced, or Yinchi, or however it is. That this one, Doc, you would not go there. The creatures that are at those places are literally called the Demonic Spiderman.
No.
They are not pleasant to see. They are about 8 to 9 foot tall spider entities
Yeah.
that have tentacles as well.
No.
And what's funny is that you mentioned that. It makes because Drunkle, I may or may not have told you, but I've always been one for on the aquatic life, like anything under the ocean, like like sharks and all that.
And
But
that's a
then
big thing with him. It's a huge thing with Lovecraft, was the underworlds, the under the world, under the ocean, all of that.
Because it's pretty much like nobody really knows what's truly at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And it just makes me kind of wonder, what's really down there. I mean, for all we know, could there be just, undiscovered species of like certain creatures, or could there be a lot more down there that we really don't want to know of.
Oh no.
Right. Just for you, Umbrella, that is one of the spiders of Lang.
Yeah, let me look up here. Spiders.
Yes.
We can't hear you, Umbrella.
Listen, okay, if I go in there, I'm carrying like 50,000 gallons of Raid mixed with battery acid.
They're the size of an elephant. You're not winning.
No, okay? Listen, nuclear fucking warfare. That is what would happen if I went there, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will take the nukes.
Yeah, like we were saying, though, with these Elder Ones, they have appeared a few other times throughout the series. Like in the Witch Houses one, they're mentioned, which is another really good book or good series of Lovecraft to listen to. If you get the chance, I would recommend it, Kobe. It's literally just called The Dreams in the Witch House.
Okay.
Really messed up. But the Elder Ones, like I said, they are in HP's world, HP Lovecraft's world, these are our ancestors. These are the things that created us. Even though, weirdly enough, they themselves reproduce by, same way mushrooms do. They exploded in spores. And yes, it was in a couple of the stories that it describes what the spores do to humanity. And it is not pleasant.
Well, I would bet not.
Yeah, it is very not pleasant.
It
effectively turns you into a hybrid of an Elder One and a human.
Oh, Christ.
I did find a pretty good YouTube channel that has audiobooks of this stuff, and they have like background music and sound effects and voice acting, and it's really good. If anyone's interested, it's called Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, and they have a lot of horror stories, and they have a lot of Lovecraft ones, and I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, like the Lovecraft in general is crazy. Like I said, you got so many of the different ones, and it is known that in the world of Lovecraft, that the Elder Ones did go to war with the original beings that worship Cthulhu, that being the Cthulhu and the Migo. The Migos, again, avoid them. Think giant freaking mosquitoes. They're ugly.
Migos?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, the Migo.
Migo. Okay, I see here.
This is what a Migo looks like. I will let you see what a Migo looks like.
Okay.
That is a Migo. Basically, cross of mosquito and shrimp with giant wings and will eat you. Happily. Considering they are approximately 6 to 7 foot tall. And guess where they're from? Pluto.
Oh.
And they can stay there.
That explains why Mickey's voice is so high.
But before I continue on with the Elder Ones here, I am going to touch base really quick on this one place in particular. This is a huge location in the Lovecraft mythos. You will hear about this constantly. And that is the Miskatonic University.
I've heard that. It sounds familiar.
It is basically Harvard mixed with Yale in the Lovecraft mythos. It is in the city of Arkham in Massachusetts. It is the area that it is the university where most of the scientists come from. They have the Necronomicon in there. They have the Book of the Dreamlands, all of that. They have all of it there. And in fact, at the Mountains of Madness, the Miskatonic University is the one that sent the scientists to the Mountains of Madness.
Okay. I was wondering if I heard it in Dunwich Horror the other day when he went there to get the Necronomicon. Okay.
You did. That would be, when you said you listened to the Dunwich Horror, I'm like, whenever Wilbur, or Will, I always mispronounce his name, but I think it's Wilbur. Because I try not to think of him too much, considering his description is disgusting. But yes, the one he goes to visit is, well, the biggest scientist or researcher in that world. That being, well, the librarian. He himself is big in there. Like, a lot of the people there, that being Dr. Henry Armitage. He is the big guy. You will hear his name come up quite a bit.
Armitage, yeah. Yep.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say like Emotep or something. I was going to say, the fuck?
No. There are some Egyptian people that he does deal with from time to time, but Dr. Armitage is the one that has been able to read the Necronomicon without going insane. It is why he is considered one of the more powerful people mentally in the world of Lovecraft.
He's the special kind of stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like, and a lot of times, if you listen to, like, the joke musics that are out there, they do some Lovecraft songs, Christmas carols of all things, which is hilarious to me.
Oh my god, that makes me think of Death to the World, the one that you introduced me to, Drunkle, you asshole.
But one of the lyrics is, it's talking about the Dunwich Horror. It literally mentions Armitage would surely have come unglued. Meaning if he actually bore witness to what he was trying to stop. But moving with the elder ones here.
Is
They
that
have
I
appeared
saw
quite a
Mummy
bit.
Kissing Azathoth?
Yes, that's exactly what that one is.
Okay.
What was the
And
question?
it's Mummy Kissing. The song Umbrella asked about, it's the song I'm talking about. It's a song called I Saw Mummy Kissing Yog-Sothoth.
Okay.
Based on the song I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus. It's very wrong.
He was
And
singing
Drunk-
it all Christmas. Like,
I was.
Yeah, at Drunkle, I remember when I think it was like 2 years ago, when we first became roommates, that all of a sudden that we were playing our game, and you used that song as a catalyst trying to get that one specific servant and everything. It was just funny as hell.
Oh yeah. But here's the entertaining thing to touch base again with the elder ones here, or as the old ones. They've appeared quite often in other series, including Doctor Who. They have been appeared in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They've been in Hellboy 2.
I still need to watch Hellboy too.
But I mean, that's a lot of them. Like, in fact, you played it, I believe, Kobe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Canarium,
Yes.
I believe it's pronounced. That is dealing that is viewed as a sequel to the Mountains of Madness,
Okay.
and depicts them a lot more.
I think that may have been one of the first Lovecraft type games I've ever played, so I had no idea what was going on when I played that.
Right. And this is what they say is what they look like. Not very pleasant looking, but not very threatening, unlike Azathoth and the Spider of Yang.
What's that one called?
This is what an elder one looks like.
Okay.
This is an artist's depiction of what Lovecraft described and how they came up to what it would look like. You can see the tentacles and the wings and all that, and its weird starfish head.
Ah, okay.
The next thing we're moving to is the Shoggoth. And we're just going to go right away with the image of it. This is a Shoggoth.
oh,
That is a human next to a Shoggoth.
that's
Oh.
the third transformation of Nemesis.
Pretty much. The Shoggoth are one of the most prevalent creatures in Lovecraft. One of the most prevalent.
Jesus, it's
They've-
like what it's like they say, like the creatures of Lovecraft are nowhere near pleasant, and they are
They're
terrifying.
disgusting. Yeah. Their description is literally a writhing mass of eyes, mouths, and tentacles.
Huh.
Not pleasant. And their size is approximately 15 foot in diameter.
Whoa.
Damn.
And yes, they are known to scream a cry, as it's listed here, of Tekalili. Tekalili.
Yeah. Okay. That's what was chasing them out in the Mountains
Yep.
of Madness. Okay.
Yep.
It sounded like you said ukulele for a second. I was like, say what?
Tekalele.
Nope, it's Tekalili. Tekalili.
I know. I'm just saying that it sounded like.
Right, and it's believed that it was either an order from the Elder Ones or a command that once they killed them, they just kept reciting because they have no brain. They're just an amorphous blob. They have nothing. They can form whatever organs, mouths, appendages, whatever they need, they can just form.
Talk about having a head with no one at the talk about having a ship with no one at the helm.
Pretty much. Yeah, these things here are everywhere in the mythos. After they were created and they warred against the Elder Ones, they spread out. They are somewhat sentient, but only sentient enough to know they have to feed on things. That's it. With them. They are... Oh, here's another version of them. I forgot about this guy. This is what one is supposed to look like when it's angry.
And they ate all the penguins, right? Coming
Yes,
out.
they were feeding on the penguins. But yes, this is one here that was feeding on it. But they have been on Earth for literally billions of years.
Whoa.
Well, definitely older than the dinosaurs.
Right.
We couldn't
Cut
hear
out
you.
again.
Yeah.
Would that fall along the lines of the movie, what is it, I think, where they were in Antarctica and the dude had to go to the bathroom really bad and he shit out one of the slimy, amorphous tentacle
Yes,
things?
in a way, yes. And I think it's also reminiscent of The Thing.
Yes, that's it.
That's what it's based on. That's what The Thing ended up basing itself on, was... A lot of people don't realize it. The Thing was a kind of sort of retake idea using the Mountains of Madness, because they went to the Antarctic and they found this entity, which was the Shoggoth, basically.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
I just saw on Lovecraft Reddit the other day, there is a movie coming up, I think, where they get lost in the Arctic like that. I can't remember the name of it now. But
Yes, I know what you're talking about, Kobe, and yes, it is going to be another retelling of the Mountains of Madness.
okay, I didn't know if it connected that much, or if people were just thinking that it was similar to Lovecraft.
It's probably going to be connecting. It's likely going to be like a complete retelling or a rehashing. So I wouldn't put a lot of cadence in it, but I would definitely say it would probably be worth checking out.
Okay.
Well, Drunkle, I know you mentioned that there is a couple of different Lovecraft-based movies that are pretty decent. You said, well, I mean, there weren't that many, of course, but I know you mentioned there's a couple of them.
There are quite a few Lovecraft movies. Like, a lot of people didn't realize... I know every one of you have probably heard of the movie The Reanimator.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
That is actually a Lovecraft story. A lot of people believe, and I hate to be an insulter to it, and people can hate me if you'd like. People claim that the zombie god, or if you will, the godfather of the modern zombies, being George Romero, no. It was Lovecraft. He created the Reanimator series, which was a series of 3 books that talked about a guy trying to bring back the dead. as zombies, so they could do his bidding. He was the first.
Oh,
Right.
they're coming out with a they came out with a movie about me. That's so sweet.
And they ended up, yes, it inspired quite a bit. That's the other thing, everybody take, this is a big thing. A lot of the stories from Lovecraft inspired tons and tons of other series. Without Lovecraft, we would not have the zombie series. We would not have the cosmic horror, these creatures, these entities that are coming from outer space to eat us.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the movie, I'll go off base here a little bit. The movie Event Horizon. I'm sure you may have heard of that movie.
Yep, awesome movie.
That's a Lovecraft movie.
Okay.
So it's basically
when he went and his eyes were blind, he saw Azathoth. That's what the entity he saw was.
I need to watch that
so
again.
it basically translates to because I mean me of course and everybody knows I'm a huge zombie freak, and of course obviously Umbrelladoc, I know you are too, along with Drunkle. But
I don't know what would give you the idea that I am a huge zombie fanatic.
right. But anyways, like the whole entire with George A. Romero and basically who was on Lovecraft. I mean, yes, yeah. Lovecraft was the one who came up with.
He inspired it.
100%. Came up with the idea, but of course, obviously, it's like you said, Drunkle. It's more well known for Romero to have done all these movies and everything, and he's more well known for it. And you just said it yourself, not a lot of people know that Lovecraft is the one truly behind all that stuff.
Right.
But it's because George A. Romero, because now mind you, I don't know every single thing about Romero as much as I respect him, but I just have a feeling that he was probably a huge Lovecraft fan, and that's why he came up with. That's probably why he.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's actually it actually was stated by, I believe it was his daughter, that Romero had quite a few books from Lovecraft. That explains it. He inspired him. He definitely inspired him.
Then that definitely explains everything.
Right. Now, the next entities we will be talking about, which are bigger ones, are these guys, the Great Old Ones. The Great Old Ones are the entities that most people know about. They're the gods, if you will. And as you see there by the image, our lovely Lord and Savior, Cthulhu.
Did Umbrelladoc show you that shirt that I found that said, "Do you have time to hear about our Lord and Savior Cthulhu?" I sent him a picture of it a while ago.
I'm going to have to send it to him.
Yeah, the whole thing is, when I say there are a lot of elder gods or greater old ones with Cthulhu and that, everybody believes, it's just like Cthulhu, maybe Yog-Sothoth, Shoghoth, and the Azathoth and that. No. This here is a list of them. There is a ton of these things that he wrote about. Look at that, guys. This is the size. There is so many of these entities.
Jesus. It's like the ones that we know of don't even put a dent in how many there are.
Correct.
Imagine if they all woke up and walked this planet at the same time.
Oh, there would be what planet? There would be no planet.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
There'd be no universe.
Welcome to 2022.
Oh, shut the hell up, Umbrella.
But yes, the great old ones are these entities that are considered the gods or what were worshipped by humanity, and these cults that are always prevalent in Lovecraft. There's always prevalency with cults. Even at the Mountains of Madness, they talk about the man who wrote the Necronomicon, the insane sheik, or what they call them so many different names. You even yourself being it more somewhat fresh in your brain there, Kobe, with even the Dunwich Horror, the cult that the Whateleys were a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. that's what a lot of these people worship. You played, and well, I watched it, and quite a good play for you on it, that being the Sinking City.
Yeah.
The cult, the Innsmouths, are a cult. They worship Dagon. They worship the Deep Ones. And ones like that. That's what these are the entities they worship.
You know,
That they actually exist in their world.
You know, it kind of makes me, think, or at least, makes me kind of question. Like you keep mentioning entities and everything. Like every time I think of the word entity, I think of like supernatural and stuff, like with ghost hunts and all that shit. It just kind of makes me wonder, would Lovecraft, like, because mind you, I only started listening to his stories on Audible, so I haven't gotten that far. It just kind of makes me wonder, like, would like all these other entities, that like supernatural entities and all that, does that, I wonder if it's all connected to Lovecraft or what, in some way, shape, and form. I could be talking my ass. I mean, I don't know.
He does have a lot of things out there, so a lot of things can be tied back to him. The cults, various cults and that, like, people didn't realize, but like the unfortunate cult, that being Heaven's Gate, believe that comet was going to take them to another world. And it was a similar belief to one of the cults in the Cthulhu mythos, that being the Cult of Cthulhu itself. There's a lot of ties in there where people believe that the things he wrote about is things he saw, or how he saw humans themselves.
So basically, when I go to continue listening to the audiobooks and all that, I'm basically going to be in for one hell of a ride when I go to listen to the Call of Cthulhu, pretty much.
Yes.
I figured as such.
We're going to move to the next entity here, or creature, if you will. That being Dagon. And I want to go to Dagon next, because he is a god in a way, but he is not truly evil. He is one of the ones that isn't massively evil in the Lovecraft world. He doesn't actively try to kill humanity if he doesn't need to.
Kobe, you saw him, I believe, in The Shore. You release him from the prison and he climbs up on top of the pillar.
Yep.
And
He
rides
was
the pillar.
in between all the spikes, yeah. So there is on Steam, there is a free game called Dagon. It's very short. It's just kind of like an interactive novel, but I liked it a lot. So I'm waiting for their DLC to add on to it.
Right. And I mean, that's the whole thing. He's called Father Dagon by the Deep Ones. And a lot of description and discussion on it is he really a great old one? Or is he just a very powerful sea entity that is been on this planet? I myself don't have any statement in that, because I can't say one way or another. But he is the patron god of the Deep Ones. And the Deep Ones are very, very bad. And I wish to speak out on this one here. What I'm going to be discussing next may be a little bit disturbing to hear for some people. And I apologize for that.
The next thing you're about to hear may be disturbing for some viewers.
I have a quick question.
Discretion is advised.
I don't know if you're getting to it later or if you even know what I'm talking about. In The Shore, when I released Dagon, there's this other creature that's kind of like a pillar that has legs. And
that's Mother Hydra.
Okay.
That's his wife.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yep. That's hopefully what they'll touch base on with it as well.
Okay.
But the reason I'm saying, giving a warning here, and I apologize if it even bothers any of you guys, the reason everybody hates the Deep Ones. The Deep Ones created the Innsmouths. If you've read any of it or played The Sinking City, you've seen what the Innsmouths look like. They're fish people with gills and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Deep Ones make them by kidnapping humans and throwing them into rape pits to force them into breeding.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
I apologize if that causes anyone stress, but this is why I want people to realize in the Cthulhu mythos with Lovecraft, it's not all rainbows, flowers, or sunshine.
Wait,
No, here's the thing. Here's a little. I mean, just real quick. With Lovecraft, like, if not 95% of his writings is not for the faint of heart. I can pretty much damn near guarantee it from what Drunkle has said.
Yes. You've been listening as well, Kobe. Would you also agree with that? That most people, you would not recommend anyone under probably 16 to listen to anything from Lovecraft?
Yeah, it may be hard to. It may not be exciting enough also for someone younger like that. It's not like there's a whole lot of action or anything going on. But yeah, for sure. It gets pretty dark, I guess. I was going to ask you, did you say they throw the Innsmouthers in the pit, or the Innsmouthers? I missed that part.
The Innsmouthers are what comes out of that pit after the Deep Ones have raped and violated the humans to create them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's why a lot of the people despise the Deep Ones, including Dagon himself. In fact, Dagon's may be worshipped by them. Mother Hydra may be, but Cthulhu wants the Deep Ones dead. And okay. Cthulhu trusts Dagon enough that Cthulhu's daughter, that being Cthulhu or Scylla, in the, old beliefs as well, was entrusted to Dagon and Hydra so it could eventually kill the Deep Ones.
Okay.
Right, and that's the whole scary part, is with them, with Dagon. I had to touch base on this because Dagon is usually one of the first movies people watch that deal with Lovecraft. Because it was one of the most easily got, because you always, at least in my childhood, I remember seeing many times on, be it HBO or even like USA or Fox, you'd see up next, Dagon, and you'd watch it and you wouldn't know besides, okay, there's fish people, this is creepy, what the heck is this? Mm-hmm. You'd think it was just a monster movie and you wouldn't know that it actually was a very truncated version of the Dagon series, the Dagon mythos.
Kind of along the lines of, I would have to say, taking it way back in the day before they were able to get more story out of it, would probably be the creature from the Black Lagoon, right?
Yes, that's another one that takes a lot of it from it. But yeah, like with him, it's hard to really understand the whole idea behind Dagon. Aside from Lovecraft got the idea from seeing a Mesopotamian artifact in a museum that looked like a man, mermaid, lizard hybrid, and designed and came up with the idea for Dagon with that. All from seeing just a description of a different deity that was worshipped in ancient Mesopotamia. Crazy, huh? Yeah.
It's just basically a perfect example. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah. Now, Kobe, I wish to ask you a quick question here.
Mm-hmm.
You played that couple of those games, and you were asking me questions through Umbrella. One of which you kept asking me was about two creatures in particular, which is the next one we're going to talk about. Do you remember when I even mentioned him earlier? That being the entity known as Nyarlathotep.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been Transient, the game.
Yep.
Okay.
Nyarlathotep is better known as the Crawling Chaos. That is his nickname. Its nickname, whatever you want to call it. Nyarlathotep is bad. He is the main antagonist, if you will, throughout the entirety of the Lovecraft mythos. You'll end up hearing about him quite a bit. In the Dreamlands, if you listen to the book, you'll hear about him. You hear about Nyarlathotep in Cult of Cthulhu. You hear about... Hell, they mention Nyarlathotep and Yog-Sothoth in At the Mountains of Madness.
Okay.
Nyarlathotep is the creature that you wish to avoid the most. All he does, and all he wants to do, is to control everything. He wants to become the leader of all. The whole idea behind him is pure and simple. Well, frankly, probably know the idea behind where he came from. Ever hear of the terminology, the man in black?
Mm-hmm.
Or Old Scratch? Or any of those quotes?
I haven't heard the Old Scratch one.
You said you have heard of the man in black.
Yeah, I've heard it. I don't know what it is, though.
Okay, it's pretty easy to figure it out. The man in black, Old Scratch, is the one that tends in that being the Germanic, as well as any of the Christianity books, is the one who's after your soul the most.
Okay.
It is Nyarlathotep in the mythos, even of Lovecraft, appeared in a garden for humanity just to try to cause humanity to go insane and destroy itself first. He took the form of a snake at that point.
Oh, Garden
Oh.
of Eden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nyarlathotep is the equivalent of Satan
Okay.
or Lucifer. When he walks the earth, he is described as a tall, joyous, slim man of dark complexion who will offer you everything you ever want, as long as you will work for him.
Okay. Interesting.
That is what his whole goal is. He is very, very disturbing. And this is it's not a great image, but we'll do this real quick.
I was looking at some pictures on my stream here.
And Nyarlathotep, yeah, you can pull up as well if you're able to. That's what he does. The best way to describe him, the man of 1,000 forms, the envoy of Azathoth. He will take you to Azathoth just to kill you.
I will give you anything you want as long as you work for me. Awesome! I've always wanted your soul. Wait a minute. That's not supposed to work that way. I'm supposed to get your soul. Yes, but I want your soul. So if you can give me what I want, I'll work with you.
It's always interesting to me when stuff like this ties into Christianity, like stories.
Oh, deep. Definitely.
Absolutely. Like, that's the thing, Kobe. There is a lot of connections to Christianity, to everything with Lovecraft. He touched base with all kinds of things. Even though I should have said it at the beginning, I love Lovecraft as a writer and his visions of writing and the stories he created. Lovecraft himself was a horrible, horrible person.
I've heard some stuff, yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was a very horrible person, which I wish to let people know that now. Just because he's a great writer does not condone any of his beliefs or views or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do even more research on him, you're going to find some pretty messed up stuff that he had done. Never touched his wife, divorced her, believed very, very much so in, well, for lack of a better terminology, eugenics. Literally to the point of separation of all races. That was his views, which is why a lot of the times these creatures that he developed are actually supposed to symbolize some of them as well. So just a heads up there, people. Some of the stuff can be a little freaky and disturbing when you research into it with Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it with a grain of salt on his views and just enjoy what he wrote, and you'll be good.
Right, and I'm pretty sure that even the biography that I listened to about his life doesn't even put a dent on talking about what he was like throughout his life.
Correct.
I was wondering if like even the Innsmouthers may even represent something like that.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Unfortunately, that is his view of what African American and Caucasian crossbreeding made to him.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, like, in all honesty, he actually believed that Jewish people came from jumping spiders. They evolved from a spider-like being.
Well, that explains why they get all the money.
Like, he's fucked up. Like, he was fucked up with things like that.
Yeah.
But
Like,
the next entity or creature, we'll call it a creature because that's what this thing is the sworn enemy, the absolute sworn enemy of Nyarlathotep. The second most powerful entity in all of Lovecraft, Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth, also known as Sit Typhon, is the beginning and the end and the middle. Meaning he sees the past, the present, and the future.
Okay.
Yog-Sothoth is also the one that in the Dunwich Horror is the one who impregnated Lavinia Wheatley to create the Dunwich Horror and Wilbur.
Okay.
didn't they kind of put him into the first season of Loki in a way, being able to see the beginning, middle, and end?
Yes, in a way.
The final guy, he shall not be named because they didn't talk about him, and he was creating the timeline, and he knew everything about everything. Like, there was no stopping him.
Right, like, well, Yog-Sothoth has multiple names, which is why a lot of them refer to him. And you have the Lurker, Opener of the Way, my personal favorite, Beyond One, All in One, and One in All. The being of 1,000 eyes.
Okay.
He sees everything. Like, he's literally just described as a collection of eyeballs. Giant eyeballs. And he is also thought to believe that even though he is evil, he's locked out of the universe. He's not truly evil. He's chaotic. If you call upon him, you have to do so with reverence and respect, and he will grant you vast power, vast knowledge, and can teach you anything you want to know. However, you are not to set sight on him.
Okay.
Because if you view him, you are now a gate. And at that point in time, you have gone insane, and he is now entering our world through you.
Okay.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to be right back. You guys can keep going.
Okay.
Oh, it's Sasky.
Hmm. Hey, Sasky joined us. Hey, Sasky, welcome. he probably ain't gonna talk. But there is actually family in this whole thing, which is the scariest fucking part to me. I'm sorry to swear with this one, but it is the scariest fucking part. Yog-Sothoth has a wife. Yog-Sothoth's wife is Shub-Niggurath.
Oh, lovely.
Which then translates into, and this is the funniest part, Cthulhu is his grandchild.
Oh, fun.
I remember you mentioning something about like the mother of Cthulhu and all that shit.
Yeah. That's like, I believe Cthulhu's mother is Yeb, I want to say it is. I think, yeah, Yug and Neb.
I'm just wondering what I walked into.
Tentacles. Lots of tentacles. Welcome. Step right up. Yog will bring a tentacle over for you shortly.
I've seen enough cartoons to know where this is going.
Yeah.
But yes, the whole thing with Yog is he is the most mentioned creature in the Cthulhu mythos or the Lovecraftian mythos, whichever you wish to call it. During any of the times you'll hear in the audiobooks or even just reading any of the stories, you will see them using chants. Like in the Mountains of Madness, he mentions reading the Necronomicon and hearing of the names of Nyarlathotep and the Great Old Ones and Yog-Sothoth. And then they move on to talking about summoning Yog-Sothoth in the Dunwich Horror, which they have a chant for it, calling him by name to bring him into the world. He is the most mentioned because he can either be a good cause for good in this or cause for evil. Most of the time it's unfortunately evil. And this is a view/artist depiction of what Yog-Sothoth is supposed to look like.
Hold on a second.
I'm back. So was that the creature in the Dunwich Horror? The invisible one?
No, that actually is Yog-Sothoth's son. That is the invisible one.
Okay, that's right. You said that he impregnated her, and then that was...
Yes, Lavinia.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the picture here, this little tiny speck right here on top of this mountain is a human summoning Yog.
Wow.
This is why they say you glance at Yog, you're going to go absolutely nuts. And because I went with Yog here, with it, like I said, he is a cosmic entity, outer god, birthed Cthulhu, Hastur, all of that. He is not weak. Out of all the entities, he is probably the one that could actually handle fighting Azathoth, if it came to it.
Oh, he's Wilbur's dad.
Yes. Wilbur Wheatley's father. He cannot die and will not stop. Like, as it says here, an excerpt from the Dunwich Horror. You have heard this statement, I'm sure, Kobe, recently. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the key and guardian of the gate. Past, present, future. All are one in Yog-Sothoth. He knows where the old ones broke through of old and where they shall break through again. He knows where they have trod earth's fields and where they still tread them, and why no one can behold them as they tread.
So it's basically like he's like the gate, the key, and pretty much the entire 9 yards.
Yes.
And is that where some old school RPGs came up with the Beholder?
Yes. The Beholder is I use the idea of a lot of stuff from Lovecraft. Namely, the Beholder is a form of either Yog's eye or a Shoggoth form.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Now, we're gonna stick same in the family, yes, to Yog-Sothoth's mate, aka wife. That being Shoghoth, the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young.
Well, see, that makes sense, because he looked like a giant penis, and she looks like a giant, well, you know what.
Yeah, kinda.
Doesn't surprise me.
They fit right together.
They do.
Quite literally.
Ain't that cute?
Talk about the whole, brings a whole new meaning to the term 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, now, see, now it looks like a giant, like, technically
Right.
female
They always take whatever form they want. That is the big thing with it.
Oh, so now we know who's wearing the pants in that family.
Well, yeah, I mean, Yog don't care, so.
Oh, Jesus.
And poor Yogg's a swinging door.
Sometime.
Revolving door.
Yeah, like I said, you have all these different entities that they deal with, but Shub and Yog are the two that have created most of them. You've got Cthulhu, Neb, Yig, Yoggoth, a lot of them. They came from the mating of Yog-Sothoth and Shub-Niggurath. Now, this is one of their children. It's not a very big picture, because it's literally just a mound of tentacles with teeth. And that's the big thing with it. They are nothing but pitch black monstrosities that will wrap you up in its tentacles and start eating you.
That's the kind of relationship I want.
Now, here we're going to go
Just
into
kidding.
something. Here's something we're going to go into a little bit gross. I'm offering it to all of you, including you, Sasky. Does anybody here wish to partake of the milk of Shub-Niggurath?
Ew,
Oh.
ew, no, ew.
I will take a hard pass on that, thank you.
Milk,
a
you say?
or a tentacly pass. Like,
You
I don't
know, I do have a box of cereal that requires milk.
The reason I mention it is, weirdly enough, Lovecraft comments on it and has stated that any who drink her milk mutate into creatures akin to the dark young of her.
Well, that's perfect for you, Umbrella.
You know what? Test subject number 876. I got your number.
But here's the most interesting thing as well. A lot of people have pointed this out on it. Stephen King and Terry Pratchett have both talked about Shub-Niggurath in their stories.
Stephen King?
Not many
Okay.
people know this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You said Stephen King did as well?
yeah, both of them have
Jesus.
referenced her.
Makes me wonder if Edgar Allan Poe did the same damn thing.
Probably. He and Doctor Who talked about Shub-Niggurath.
Jesus Christ, there's no escaping the Lovecraft shit.
Well, with Stephen King's movies and everything, like, I want to do a video on the lore and the mythos of it and the flying turtle. But, yeah, like, that would be insane.
For all of us old people, you don't fully count with this one, Fox, because you're not as old as us, so you're lucky on this one. You, Sasky, probably me, I know you, Umbrella. I'm probably sure you're about the same age, Kobe, here. Remember the video game Quake?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The final boss in Quake was Shub-Niggurath.
Oh, I don't remember it that well. But yeah.
It literally was an upside-down bar stool is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Okay, and why? And what is this whole entire thing of I don't gotta worry about nothing? What's that about?
I'm mentioning it because I didn't know if you would know it because, well, Quake is a fairly older game. We're talking like early 90s type shooter.
I've heard of the game. I mean, I've heard of it.
That's why I said you may not have played it. That I figured you probably didn't, because it was an older game.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
came-
you're talking about.
It
Okay, that's what
came
you mean by
out
that.
in 96. And with that coming out in 96 and RE coming out in 94 and 96, you probably didn't play Quake because you were probably into the RE, fandom building with the story of that. Quake, however, was, it was messed up.
Man, I didn't even.
It's a story for another time, but I didn't actually play RE when it first came out, but that's a completely different story all in itself.
Yes.
I didn't even.
Doesn't Quake predate RE?
The fuck?
Quake came out in 96, and I believe RE came out either around the same time or shortly
I thought it
after.
was 96. I thought Quake was newer than that, actually. I would have guessed like 2000 or just before.
No, Quake came out in 1996. It was one of
Okay.
the first FPSs. In fact, I think it was the first FPS right after Doom.
Doom and
Yeah, right.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah.
don't know.
The thing
I
is,
think it predates Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
like, the reach in the Lovecraftian mythos is huge. Like, it's even in anime. If you've watched or heard of the series, Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, they even refer to Shoghoth in there as well.
Yes. I love that show.
And there are so many. It's such a big thing, like we were saying, with the whole bit of how wide branching this has reached. It's all over. In
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Shoghoth
it's a-
appears as a boss in Shadow Hearts.
Yep. Shoghoth is the name of a French band. It's a name of a black death metal band from Mexico.
Huh.
It's
Oh, it makes
in a
sense.
lot of it. It's
Yeah,
in a lot of it.
I think Chupacabra was already taken, so they had to go with Shoghoth.
And yes, a lot of people see this probably here. I'm going to bring it up a little more. Yes,
Yeah, I saw that.
Marvel did have a bit with a crossover with the Lovecraft universe. It is a very funny comic series. I highly recommend it. It is hilarious watching Wolverine trying to use his claws to stab frickin' Cthulhu.
Okay,
I mean,
that sounds funny.
In a sense, that does make sense with the Marvel Universe having a multiverse and, like,
Right.
the Craftian thing having this huge multiverse and huge universe of mythos. Like, it kind of makes sense that they would do a cross of that.
Right. Now, we're going to move to the one that people probably have been waiting for. The one that everybody knows from the Lovecraft mythos. In his house at Relay, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming.
Try to pronounce the actual words in the Elder language.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Which one are we on now?
Cthulhu.
Oh,
Our
okay. I
Lord
thought we
and
talked about
Savior.
Cthulhu already.
Nope.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to go to him next because we're gonna move to some of the other lower monsters here again. But I wanted to talk about Cthulhu now because he is the one that most people know. They've heard, oh, Great Cthulhu sleeps in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. He is in his city of Relay, which took me forever to figure out that's how you frickin' pronounce that.
Yeah, I heard it pronounced earlier, and that's what I thought it
Yeah.
was until I heard it a different way.
Yeah, I
And
heard it. I heard it many different ways until, coming from Lovecraft's family as it went on, they said it was pronounced Relay.
Okay.
And it's funny because I just think about that song "Get to the World" about Cthulhu, and where it's like one of the lyrics, "He rules the earth and whatnot," and I come from the sea and whatnot. Like, yep, that just tells me like someone tells me that it's possible he's at the bottom of the ocean and pretty much nobody knows it.
It could very well be. I'd welcome it.
Of course
Yeah,
you would.
You would.
I tell you what, after 2020 and 2021, Cthulhu would be a really nice break.
And you could shut your damn mouth.
But yes, with Cthulhu, he is the high priest of all the great old ones. His job is to make sure that everything is returned to madness to be destroyed. That is his goal.
And actually, what's even funnier, I mean, it's just a little funny thing. Like, there was this song I first heard at a con, the Narwhal song, and there was a lyric, they stuck Cthulhu E.T.E. I'm going like, oh, okay, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, and the chant that you wish to hear, Kobe, I do know of it. It's this one right here. Ya, ya, Cthulhu Fatagen.
Mm-hmm.
That is the chant, everybody, to try to summon him. And hopefully I don't see any tentacles showing up, so I'm okay.
And if they do, the only thing I'm gonna do is look out the window and go, "Daddy!"
I swear to God, if he comes, I'm gonna blame both of you.
Blame Christoph because he's probably doing the chant in his sleep.
Man, I'm finding out that the first audiobook I listened to didn't pronounce all this stuff correctly. Like,
Yes,
early...
it's very... That's
Like-
why, like, I recommend, if you guys get the chance and you have 1 credit from Audible, get the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. It's actually all of his works that he wrote, read and narrated by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, who have all the permissions from his family and all of that to do it and have all the stuff needed. It's a good one to go to. It's about a 50-some hour book, audiobook, but it's got all the main ones in it, starting with the poem of Azathoth all the way past Cult of Cthulhu into the Dunwich Horror and all of them.
Okay. The complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. Okay.
Yeah. And there is the ritual that you were talking about, and I am not trying it. I cannot try
At the
that.
moment.
It's
At the moment.
Funglui Maglana Cthulhu.
Oh God.
I always
damn
want
it.
to say early Arlie. I can't remember now.
Relay.
Wagana Fatan.
Fatagan.
Fatagan. See, yeah.
I
It's-
think you need to be German to read that.
I am German,
I
so
don't
maybe
even
that's
think
why I
German
can do it.
can do. But yes, he has tons of worshippers.
Wait, I think that would sound better with Sasky reading it. Sasky, read that.
Send it to me on Discord because I can barely see the screen.
Yeah, I got it zoomed in a little bit on my
With
OBS.
Sasky's voice, I think that would be amazing.
And I just heard it like yesterday too, so
Yeah.
yeah, it would if he can figure out how to say them.
Pronounce it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I need to be able to see it properly to.
I
try to
posted it in the
figure out.
general.
Funglui Maglana Cthulhu.
Ngui, Melguanath, Cthulhu, Pel, Wagnagel, Fatagen.
Yeah, it's not
Which
bad.
supposedly translates into "In his house at Relay, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming."
That's what I was
He-
talking about at the
Yeah,
beginning when I
dark-
asked you about Azathoth dreaming. That's what I was talking about.
Right. He's dreaming in Relay. That's where he's sealed. It is stated that when he
Wow.
wakens and it rises to the top of the water again, and that door opens, madness will invade all the minds of humanity.
Well, madness
Oh,
is...
great. You just had. Great. Now I'm going to be in trouble when he wakes up.
No, see, I'm good. I'm safe because I'm already crazy, so the madness ain't gonna affect me as bad.
Sure about that now.
No, I'll
Yeah.
probably wake up tomorrow with Christoph talking to me in plain English.
Oh, so you'd be in Dreamlands.
Probably.
He's gonna be like,
Yes, just so everybody understands that, I'll explain that funnily real quick here. That's one of the nice places in the Lovecraft world, the Dreamlands, which is the world between, of course, our world and the world of the outer gods. In Dreamlands, the ones who guide you are cats,
Okay, I've heard that.
and they will talk to you and protect you and fight. It's funny when you think about it because they fight these little rat-like gnomes in the Dreamlands. It is hilarious to me for some reason.
Well, no, what's bad is Christoph will be able to talk to me in plain English, and all he's going to be saying is, treat, treat, give me treat, I want treat.
No, I'll find the biggest spider I can find, give it to him, and I'll make him bring it to you.
Oh no, he don't like spiders. He screams at them.
There is, like, the whole thing with Cthulhu. There is so much info here you see. It's all talking about the same thing. The same statement is the upheaval of the new land will cause the entities of Cthulhu to rise, the battles to begin, the wars to annihilate the world. He has tons of family. That being, like, his own children, Cthulhu, Cilia, all of them. Now, there is other expansions on the Lovecraft mythos where being the child of, well, grandchild of Shub-Niggurath and Yog-Sothoth, that is, they put him to sleep so he doesn't destroy everything.
It's basically, God forbid, this basically, like, if he wakes up, then basically the entire universe is fucking doomed.
No, see, this is what I don't understand, okay? All these elder ones and older ones and elder gods and everything else, they're all asleep.
No, only Cthulhu and Azathoth are asleep.
Now hold on, though, okay? Because even though they're asleep, they're still probably having children, which means one thing. The opposite side and their mates of this elder thing, they are having freaky deaky fun with someone who's sleeping. Okay, that is called a date rape drug, okay? We already made that stuff.
So they're
Sometimes.
basically they're getting like a version of Roofie, but just under the ocean version.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, Cthulhu. Yes, everybody, and Cthulhu is also in the Marvel universe.
And that brings us back to the rape pits.
Yeah,
Yes.
Full circle.
100%. Full circle. Yep.
I'll say where. That just makes me wonder where was Cthulhu in the Marvel universe.
Cthulhu in the Marvel universe it's hard to explain it, but if you look here, like, he's in Earth 616, which is the Prime universe, basically. Our
I have to
Earth.
post that to the general because I can't see that.
I'm just showing an image of him real quick. Like, there he is, just standing over them.
Well, that's going to be interesting whenever they get to that point in the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
He might be coming out after the fact of Doctor Strange and the multiverse.
Also,
Well, this
Doctor's.
oh, go ahead.
It could be
This
where
is the
Doctor
one
Strange.
that a lot of people are what they're looking forward to, is on Earth, the second part with the Avengers Academy. Natasha Romanoff merged with Cthulhu.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh shit!
Ooh,
now that's kind of sexy.
I don't know.
Kind of kinky.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
gonna say, I was gonna say it could be where
Right
where
there.
What?
See, that's sexy.
Whoa. Also, I put the link to the HP Lovecraft wiki in the Discord if anybody wants to see it closer.
But no, I was gonna say
She
like
looked
with the
almost like Succubus crossed with
poison
oh.
ivy.
Squidward.
Squidward.
no, not Squidward. No, the character in WoW.
I'm sorry, I only play good games.
A Succubus crossed with a Draenei.
And now for the last big entity I'm going to discuss tonight, It's the one I love the most. The one that I feel gives me the biggest fear.
Godzilla.
Castor.
Pastor. I don't think I've heard of that.
Close. Almost looks like Godzilla.
The king in yellow. Him who shall not be named.
But you just said his name.
Oh no.
Yeah. He is the one that his whole goal is the annihilation again of humanity, but to be remade in his likeness. And that's his likeness right there.
I wouldn't mind looking like that.
Whoa.
That's actually really, like, yeah, like really pretty in a way. Because
Just
of-
ignore
oh,
all the blood down here. Just ignore that.
Yeah.
And the
Basically
human
pretty-
getting eaten.
Yeah,
It's
we're
basically pretty in a. It's basically pretty in a really creepy way.
Yes.
yeah, some women are into that.
But Hastur has only been mentioned once by Lovecraft in his stories. He is a god, but he doesn't see the need to destroy unless he has to.
Okay.
Hence why he is called the repairer of reputations. He will repair your belief. He will repair you. But by doing so, you now bear his sign, the yellow sign. And therefore, you now wear that.
Oh.
Jesus. It almost kind of makes me think of the Captain Hook's hook from Peter Pan or something like that.
I know my new tattoo.
I was just gonna say tattoo ideas here.
Yeah, 100%.
I already have the, 666 on me, so I might as well get that too. Why not get best of both worlds?
That is the biggest quote from him is, "Have you seen the yellow sign?"
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Yield. Every time I go outside, I see that sign.
Umbrella, you'll burst into flames if you ever try to go to a funeral or wedding ever again.
Well,
Oh.
no, I can go into a funeral home. I just have a hard time going into a church.
Oh, before you get done here, I wanted to ask you about another one. I don't want to interrupt this one, but I wanted to ask you about
Sure.
Katiganar, who was in the Sinking City, or that was what? I don't know if you watched the end of it. It was like the Katiganar was it a place they were trying to get to?
I think so.
You don't
Yeah,
have-
that one's a little hard to explain, so give me a second here and I'll pull up the thing because he has locations for it as well.
So say you don't have to go into it right now. I just didn't want to forget about it before we got done.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how that even is spelled. That's the bad thing.
Let me see.
CTHYN.
Katiganar.
IGGYR.
I think
Well,
the beginning
you said
of
that was in the Sinking City. You said it was.
City, yeah.
Yeah. Crap, I can't even spell it right. Sinking City.
Because they were trying to get to Katiganar again.
I believe that's a location.
Yeah, it's a location.
CTHU. Oh, maybe I did do it wrong. UGGUNAR. That might not even be right.
Oh, maybe.
I can't even.
Because
Find it.
I know it's CTH.
Yeah, because we
I
were.
was saying it's probably the same pronunciation as Cthulhu, and it's a K instead of a C.
Huh? No, I don't think that's right. Crap. I was trying to even just get close and then have Google figure it out, but it's like, what are you trying to say?
There it is.
There it is. CTHY.
Yes, yep. That looks right.
AAR. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought it was. That's the prison of Cilia. That's the prison that holds Cthulhu's daughter.
Yeah, and then whenever you wake her up, she swallows you whole and goes gulp, nom 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 nom.
Yeah. That is this. That is that. That's what that is. So, I was like, wait, that sounds so freaking familiar. Why can I not spell that properly?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it did have her. Okay, that was one of the choices that we made. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because whenever you opened the gate, she came. Well, you walked in, and then she swallowed you whole.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, thank you for pointing that out a little bit there, Kobe. The whole thing with the Cthulhu mythos is there are so many different locations, so many odd names. Like in the Dreamlands books, they have so many different city names they go over. You end up sitting there going, eh?
Oh,
And your
Cythelia.
brain breaks.
Cythelia is Hastur's niece,
Yes,
or his half-niece.
yes.
Cythelia.
I just
okay.
saw it right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cilia is a very weird thing. Yeah. She, like I said, she is the daughter, as you can see there. This is her. This is Doc's new wife.
Oh,
Aw,
nice.
So cute.
That's hot.
Tentacles, no.
But yes, the funniest part is she's in a fighting game as a young little girl.
Hello,
But yeah.
FBI.
No, it would be the TBI, the Tentacle Bureau of Investigations.
Uh,
But yeah,
Wow.
Hastur is called many different things also, like I said. You can see here, he has so many titles again. Kaiwan, the Feaster from Afar, the Peacock King, Fenric, the Thing in the Lake, the Great Prince. He has the power to destroy many things if he desired, but he doesn't. That's the interesting part with him. He considers humanity to be like sheep. He's a shepherd. That's a good way to describe him now that I'm thinking about it. He's a shepherd. He doesn't desire any kind of real hatred unless you force it. Now, who wants to go and poke Hastur in the butt and piss him off?
Alright, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna creep up on this thing, and we're gonna stick our finger in his butthole. That should really piss him off.
You sure it's not a cloaca?
I don't know.
And like I said, there's a lot of things with the Hastur. I only wanted to touch base slightly with Hastur with this and describe like the yellow sign and show his images with that for one reason. In the idea with Hastur, as I said, with the levels of power, you had Azathoth at the top, followed by Yog-Sothoth. Hastur is right under Yog.
okay.
Yog is his dad. So, yeah, Hastur is that high. Now, the other thing we're gonna do is I wanted to talk about some of the minor, just monsters. Not so much the outer gods, but some of the little monsters that you'll deal with in this series. This series is. Now, as you can see, they have them separated into extinct, extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial, myth, religion. He incorporated all of it. And that's where I wanted to say with that. Everybody who sees Cthulhu, what do you guys think? You think an alien, right? You see the tentacles, the wing, you say, oh, it's an alien.
Yeah, I
I
can see that.
wouldn't say alien. I'd say more along the lines of a dimensional being, but not an extraterrestrial.
Right. That's where he splits it. the old ones, Cthulhu, Yog, they're extra dimensional. They travel the dimensions. The elder ones, the Shoggoths, the Migo, they're extraterrestrials. They're the actual aliens. So that's where you're gonna start getting a little weirder, because you'll hear one say, "Oh, they come from this planet," but they never come from anything like they say with Cthulhu. "Oh, he's just here." Well, that's because he's sleeping here. That's all he wanted.
Yeah, they say like when the stars are right, then they can travel here, but they don't say.
Right.
But when the stars aren't right, then they can't live.
Right. That's what it is. It's the stars have to be right for them to enter our dimension.
Yeah, so it's just a different dimension. It's not necessarily like a planet you can travel to.
Right. Now, right here are some of the extra dimensional creatures. The one I wanted to talk about real quick, the one I think everybody will hear will probably go, "I don't know what to think of this thing. It's cute but frightening at the same time." Remember I mentioned there was an enemy of the cats that they fought in Dreamlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's these guys.
Zoog?
The Zoog.
Looks like a fucking gremlin.
Christoph, it
There's
looks like you.
There's a finger laying
It
right
is a-
there.
Yes. It is the size of a rat, can talk to you mentally, but will eat you if it has the chance.
That sounds like pretty much every rat I know.
Yes. Like it says here, they're the Dreamlands, the mortal enemies of cats, because they prey on kittens and are preyed upon in return by the adult cats.
I've never
Now,
seen one of those before.
You'll get to that here shortly, because you're probably going to get to the Dreamlands book, which is really good. This is a character in the series you'll probably hear about a lot. Randolph Carter.
Okay.
Randolph Carter is the self-insert, if you will, of Lovecraft.
He is the character you played as in Transient.
Oh, okay.
Carter.
Yeah. He is as it says, he's the semi-autobiographical. A lot of his biological aspects, as well as his taste and nature, is all from Lovecraft himself, why he made him.
Oh, I remember
So-
you saying that now, Umbrella.
Like, that's the whole thing with him. So anytime in the Lovecraft universe, you hear Randolph Carter or Randolph, that's him. That's literally Lovecraft himself, putting himself in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
I think you were playing through Transient and you did something, and I'm like, oh, time for Agent Carter. And Drunkle was like, Carter? Did you say Carter? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's Lovecraft himself.
Yeah, I remember you guys saying that now.
Yeah, like, a lot of the creatures in the extra dimensional are just ugly motherfuckers. I'm just going to say it that way. Fucking ugly motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point with it. You've got the Chaos Spawn. You've got fucking Deadites. Yes, everybody in the movie Evil Dead. Yes, the Necronomicon is it. It is a spoof horror movie using the ideas of Lovecraft in it as well. Hence why the Deadites are listed as a Lovecraft creature.
Oh, wow. Okay. One more thing before I forget. Back when you were looking at Dagon, I read on the screen, I don't know if you know anything about it, but in Elder Scrolls, there is a character called Mehrunes Dagon.
Yes.
Does that have any connection, or did they just steal the name?
It's kind of like an homage.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of the times when they have that, it is a shout out, if you will.
Okay.
Ah, shit.
Like, going on to this one here to bring it back up to go back to him with it. I hate when I do that. Go back. The outer gods are the creatures you want to worry about. And like I said, with Dagon, he's not truly an elder god, but he ain't really not an elder god. But yes, here, like you said, it's down here with it. With the Beyond the Mythos, they're in there. Yes, they are very big. But this is the one that I mentioned before. Like when I said about the Christianity, right here. The biblical Philistines worship the god Dagon, mentioned in the Old Testament in Judges 16:23.
What? Okay, let me look this up.
Oh, wow.
Judges 16:23.
Yeah, the Philistine Idol.
Then the
I'm going
lords of the
hobo.
Philistines gathered them together to
All right, have
offer.
fun, Sasky.
I'll bug you
Oh.
guys later.
Yeah, see you later.
Catch you
Thanks.
later, Sass.
Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their god, and to rejoice, for they said, Our God hath delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. What? They say Dagon in the Bible? No.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of Lovecraft, Kobe. Now do you see why I say it's everywhere?
Maybe I
Yeah.
can go to church if they talk about Cthulhu and stuff,
I want to go to church now and ask them about Dagon.
right?
Oh Jesus!
Well, here's one for.
Do you have like go to church and be like, "Excuse me, do you like have time to talk about my Lord and Savior Dagon and the rape rituals that he does?"
I gotta wear the shirt.
Well, here's one for Foxboy. The metal band Dagon hails from Lansing, Michigan.
Nice.
That's that's the whole thing. A lot of them, they're there. And right there, Mehrunes Dagon, the Elder Scrolls.
Yep, that's where I saw it.
Nice.
Daedric Prince, based on the idea behind Dagon.
But anyways, this was a great discussion. But I'm gonna hop out too.
All right. We're almost done. I just want to discuss one last thing before we're going to stop for this evening. One last creature, or should I say, bit of thing to talk about with the world of, well, H.P. Lovecraft. The worlds he created and helped form are a beautiful world to read into. They're wonderful. He's touched so many different genres, so many different series, from music to art to movies, anime, video games, manga, you name it.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Everybody has probably, in one shape or another, growing up, has been touched by part of Lovecraft's works. A man that has seen things in a weird way and gave us such beautiful, horrific, terrifying things. Do not be afraid to explore into the older worlds and works. Dive in, listen to At the Mountains of Madness, listen to the Dunwich Horror, and see that the one thing he loved to do, and this is the big thing I want people to take away, and I'm going to constantly mention it.
Tentacle porn.
It makes you look at humanity itself and question it. That was the whole point behind the Mountains of Madness. How far are you willing to go
How
to
far?
find an answer?
How far
Are you willing to lose yourself to the madness?
How far are you willing to chase the white rabbit? Like,
And
That
how
is the
much
thing.
and how much are you
How-
going
how
to
far
sacrifice?
or how deep into the rabbit hole you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How deep do you want to go? How much are you willing to sacrifice? That is what he makes you question in his stories.
Or
would you be willing to give everything to have the power to do one thing?
or
To
Drunkle another
save someone. So
or
that's the
Drunkle
big
another
thing.
or Drunkle another phrase you've always used with me is when getting into this stuff, buckle up.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Because the whole thing, people, I'm going to end with this one here. You played the game, I know you have. More than likely. The Warhammer creatures, the Tyranids, are from Lovecraft. They're the same thing. Look at them.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played Warhammer.
You may not have played it, you've heard of it.
Yeah.
The Thing.
Yep.
All of these are all entities that came from him. Or he helped inspire. If you watch the anime Gurren Lagann, the anti-spiral was inspired by it as well. And a cosmic eldritch race. And that is a term I want everybody to look into and see if they can really grasp it. The term eldritch. It is a favorite line of Lovecraft, and it's one thing he always wanted to do. Eldritch is meaning one thing. Mystery. Mysteriousness.
The Beholder.
Yep, the Beholder. We're going to touch more on the next time here more on Lovecraft and go more into depth on some of the other monsters and creatures. We touch base on some of the main ones this time because good way to start the main stuff out of the way first before we dive into the more eclectic insanity that is Lovecraft's work.
That's funny. That free game on Steam, Dagon, their DLC that they're coming out with is called the Eldritch Box.
The mysterious box.
Interesting. Yeah, this is. I love this. I could do this all night. I
could too, but I know everyone's getting tired. It's a little after midnight here.
Yeah, you guys are later than me.
But the interesting aspect that I wanted people to realize is simply this. And in everything you have done, in a game you played, there is always a touch of Lovecraft somewhere.
Yeah, Resident Evil has the tentacles down pat.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So there is no getting away from the Lovecraft. It's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
And don't that add into the mystery of Lovecraft? Like, regardless on where you look, regardless on how you look at things, regardless on what kind of sacrifices you make, or regardless on anything that goes on in your life, somehow, some way, Lovecraft is involved.
He's touched it in some way. His work has touched it. Everything from horror writers Stephen King to anime, like I said. Embrace the madness in the way of that quote, embrace the madness. And welcome everyone to the worlds of Lovecraft. I'm going to hopefully continue to guide you all, give you ideas on these creatures to know what you're going to be facing with this madness. And I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope you love it as well. The next bits we're going to go over are some of the creatures like we're looking at here with it, the children of the Sphinx, the Yog-Sothoth children. All of these ones that are powerful but not quite at the level that you need to be completely terrified of. That's the ones we're going to touch base on the next step. And I hope you all had fun. I hope you liked it. Hope you learned something with this.
Yeah.
And I hope it made you happier to learn about some of this stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, as you were talking about them, I was putting them together that I never thought about before. So, yeah.
That's the scary part with talking about Lovecraft. I could explain it, but it ain't gonna click until you end up reading something else, or you see or hear it in a story, and you go, "Oh, that's what that was," or "That's where that connect." Every one of his stories is connected. Every single one. And that is where I will leave it off for now. I hope you all had fun. Kobe, Umbrella, I already said goodbye to Saskia and Fox. Thank you both for joining me, asking questions. I hope I expanded your horizons a bit with Lovecraft on some of the people and creatures that are involved in there. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys join me on the next one too.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I mean, I'll be in touch with you guys, so just let me know when you want to continue, and yeah, I'll be here for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Yep.
it's pretty much one of those things where it's like, it's always good to get knowledge, and it's always good to expand the knowledge and expand the horizons. And like I said, if people are watching later on, just make sure, like, put your questions in the comments if you have to. We'll definitely get back to you. I will relay those questions to Drunkle, and we'll get an answer for you with whatever questions you have after you watch it.
Yep, absolutely. But in that manner, thank you guys both for joining me. I hope you all had fun. Those watching later on, like he said, you have any questions, feel free to post it in either one. I will have this up on my Twitch still, as well as through posting up on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much. And, well, stay insane and enjoy the madness.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for doing this, and we'll talk to you next time.
Absolutely. Later.
Bye.
That was fun.
Well, cool. I'm gonna say goodbye to my stream here, and then I've got another stream planned.
Same.
Yeah, if you're gonna be doing something else, I got something else I'm gonna do. So
Yeah,
sounds good.
I'm gonna be jumping on League and doing some League stuff. So if you guys are catching it later, make sure you catch my next video, because it's gonna be
Yep.
all sorts of fun with League.
Cool.
Yep. Later.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
All right. Let me bring everything back up here. All right. Well, that was fun. This stuff is super interesting to me. Like I said, I just listened to, like, this week, Call of Cthulhu. Mountains of Madness must have been last week. During Thanksgiving, I listened to Shadow over Innsmouth. I just listened to the Dunwich Horror yesterday, I think. And I did listen to another one. It was a short one. It was like a half an hour. It's called The Forgotten City. I've played all these games that we were talking about. Dagon. I mean, I can get you a playlist if you want. Transient, The Sinking City, Call of Cthulhu, Canarium. So I have bits and pieces of audiobook and game audiobook, a little bit here and there, and I've kind of drawn some conclusions, but some of them like missed completely. And now that I get to hear him talk about that, I can connect them better. That's crazy that they mentioned Dagon in the Bible. That's interesting to me too. Anytime I come across something like that H.P. Lovecraft monsters are in the Bible. So I think the stream is off by a few seconds. Oh, like. Let me see. Oh, like. It may. Mine looks all right, but it's possible it could be off a little bit. Anyway, that's really awesome. I'm gonna do this again whenever he comes up with another presentation like that. I don't know that it'd be super soon, maybe a few months or something, but we'll definitely do this again. So my plan for the rest of the night was I was gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna end this stream before I continue on to the game here, and we'll start a completely new stream, so everything will get reset and we should be all caught up and stuff. I was planning on playing a game called Patron. Let me bring it up here just to show you what I'm talking about. It's a city builder game. It's fairly new. And I thought it would be... I've been thinking about it lately, and I thought it would be just a nice, chill, relaxing game to play. And we can chat and whatever. Here, this guy's playing it. So this is actual gameplay right now. Ooh, this resolution is bad. So anyway, I don't know if you've seen a game called Banished and another one called Life is Feudal Forest Village. It plays a little bit like both of those kind of put together. I could also do Resident Evil 4 separate ways. I could continue that, but Umbrelladoc is doing something else right now, and I kind of don't want to do it without him. So I was just going to wait on that and do that when he's back around, like maybe even tomorrow night. So as long as that sounds good to everybody else, I will end this stream, take a quick break, and then set up the next stream, and we'll play some Patron. I played this back when the demo came out, and it was only a 2-hour limit on it. I streamed it. So this came out August of 2021. So, does that sound interesting to anybody? Does anybody care? The game looks fun? Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do this tonight. You know, one other thing that we could do, if you're interested, let me show you one other game. The sequel to this game is coming out soon. I have it on my wish list, and I'm waiting for it to come out. We could also do this one, if it looks more interesting to anybody. So basically, you have this vehicle here. You have to pick up boxes. You put them in for fuel. It fills up this little circle here. This shows your fuel. And you're basically traveling all the way across the land to the sea. I think it's about a 3-hour game. And I have played it before, but not on stream or anything. But I am prepared to do this one as well. You know what? I think we'll do... I had something in my hand. I dropped it. Unless anybody cares, I think we'll do Patron tonight, and then we'll do this one another day. Anyway, I don't know if that music's copyrighted. What time is it? It's 10:30 for me. So we do have time to play this whole game. Yeah, let's do Patron. I think I've been kind of thinking about city builders lately, and I think it'll be nice and chill. So, if you're watching live right now, I'm going to end this stream, take a quick break, start up a new stream for Patron, and then we'll play that until I can't stay awake anymore. I'm going to get off my Mac, but I'm going to pull it up on my iPad. Cool. Yeah, give me probably about 5, maybe 10 minutes, because I'm going to have to get... Whenever I start something new, a new stream, like a new game, it takes a little bit to get everything set up. Whereas, like, if I'm playing Resident Evil, I can just copy the previous stream. So give me about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be right back. So if you have notifications on, you'll get notified when I go live. And I will be right back. So thanks, everyone, for coming to hang out with us today. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit the like button for me. Leave me your thoughts on it in the comments, and you can also subscribe to the channel for more streams and other videos. Take your time, no rush. Cool. Yeah, it won't take me too long. Anybody who doesn't know already, I do have a private Satisfactory server. If you'd like to join along and play with us, all you have to do, there's 2 options now. I have a Patreon link in the description, and also you can use the YouTube join button. They're both $5 a month. You get unlimited access to the private server and to our Discord, a private Discord chat that we use while we're playing on the server. If you don't want to do that, you can join the regular Discord for free. That's where we kind of hang out and share some stuff and have fun on there. But if you do become a Patreon or a YouTube join member, make sure you send me a message on Discord and let me know so we can get you all the server information and get you on there as soon as possible. So, I hope you enjoyed the Lovecraft stuff. It's super interesting to me, and I can't wait to do it again. So thanks again for coming to hang out with me today. I really do appreciate it, We'll see you next time. Later, guys.